Yeah, yeah. Hold on.
You said I was saying the wrong thing.
Last time you were saying, I was like, what is she saying? She's saying something derogatory. We're back. We're back, right?
Yeah, we're back. Sorry, I'm on Facebook.
She's on Facebook.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Ursula from Straight from the Horse's Mouth. It is a great topic today. Last week was good. And before we do that, I'm going to introduce my co-host.
Hey, this DJ K City. What's going down out there, everybody?
They can't answer you back right
now.
My
bad.
Yeah,
well, I love y'all too.
He's kind of new to this. I think he's still jet lagged from his flight in last week. But the last week was good about the baby mama drama. It continued on Facebook and Twitter, so that was a really good topic. And I want to say thanks again to my guest host last week, Andrea. And Skills. He's supposed to stop in a little bit today, but he has a show to do, so I don't know if he might grace us with his appearance for a little bit, and he has to run off to a show. He is always doing comedy somewhere.
I could use a good laugh. He can roll up in here.
I know, it was so funny last week when he was saying the girl still had her legs, but her kneecaps were gone.
Oh yeah, that dude was silly right there.
I was like, dang.
I like that. That was real nice.
I've been getting a lot of buzz about this week's topic, and I will repeat the topic throughout the show. The topic today is, if you know that someone has a felony on their record, would you hire them? Yes or no? And why? Why wouldn't you? And I know it probably would depend, but I want to know, because some people just flat out say no. Some people say, well, maybe. Some people say, yeah. So
I want to know what you would do in that sort of situation. That's a real, you got to think about that for a long time, man.
It's a big issue, and like I said, when I start posting this throughout the week, that's what the topic was going to be about. I was getting a lot of people commenting to me on Facebook about that, because that's a really good question. And I will start by saying that, excuse me, had a little bubble there. I remember when I was working at this job, I won't say the job, and we needed to hire a lot of people, so we were going through the applications, and some people had marked, because one of the questions on the application is, have you had a felony on your record in the past? I think 7 years.
Right. It's 7 years.
And then some people will be honest and they will check that they have. And the person that was going through the applications with me automatically was tossing that to the side, and I was like, oh, so you not going to call them in, interview them or anything? They were like, no, they have a felony on their record.
Wow.
And so I have different opinions about that. Not that I've ever had a felony on my record. Let's go on record and say I've never been arrested. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood
I've
on that.
never been in a police car. I've had handcuffs on before.
Oh, wait a minute. A
police officer didn't put it on me, so.
Wait a minute.
So, but I've never been arrested before, never been in trouble with the law. I have a clean record. And so let's go on. I don't want people to think I'm just doing this topic because I have a felony and I can't get a job. But I am sympathetic to some people. There are some people that have done time or that have things on their record that they actually didn't do. Maybe they didn't have the money to afford a good attorney to get them off or whatever.
Right.
Some people actually did the crime, but maybe they realized, okay, I messed up, so I learned from that.
Make a mistake.
I made a mistake, which if anybody has never made a mistake, I want to hear from you tonight. And if there's anyone that can call me that say that they've never made a mistake and they call me tonight, I will have a nice prize for you. You might even get to have me. No, I'm just kidding.
Man, is she okay today? Wait a minute.
That's a joke because I'm priceless.
Hope not her kids are listening to this. This is crazy.
Yes, my kids should be in bed.
Hopefully they're in the bed. Or they need to go to bed right now.
Yeah, they can't listen to this show tonight. But seriously, there are some people who learn from their mistakes, and and the felony might have been something that, I don't know what characterizes or what what makes it a felony.
Oh, as opposed to a misdemeanor.
Opposed to a misdemeanor or whatever. I should have researched that so I would have the knowledge of that.
Well, somebody might be.
So I'm going to have my assistant to Google. Can you Google that for me, assistant Miss Strawberry?
Miss Strawberry.
And I want to know what's the difference in
a misdemeanor and a felony.
Right, like what makes it a felony?
The info on that. Have you ever actually hired somebody with a felony on their record?
I actually have, and I will say, just because, and I've also fired several people that didn't have a felony on their record that was walking out with floor model TVs underneath their shirt.
Oh.
Okay, so just because that person didn't have a felony doesn't mean that they won't steal.
They can start somewhere, you know what I'm saying? They might have got a felony after.
But the biggest thing, DJ K City, the reason why I'm so adamant and so passionate about this subject is most people, it's very difficult for them to get a job, even though when you get out of jail, from what I was told, that the court or the court system or the judge tell you have to get a job.
You gotta,
okay, they give you so much time, get a job or whatever. But if there's no one, if a lot of people won't hire you because of that,
felony,
that right there is going against what the judge said. A, B, if that person cannot get a job, that means they have to get money how? Either breaking into my car or in my house or selling drugs or something to make money. And then they get very bitter, especially if they have a felony on their record and they actually didn't do the crime.
Right.
And then they can't even get a job. This is going to make them bitter towards, society, people, and things like that. And then they walking by and they're wanting some shoes, and you walking by with some Air Jordans on, and they would probably purchase it if they can get a job. So since they can't get a job, then they're going to take your Jordans.
They taking your sneakers.
Right. So that's why I'm so, I think it's something that really needs to be addressed. And yes, that person did the crime, obviously. But should they be penalized for that for the rest of their lives?
Right. Everybody deserves second chance. Sometimes people deserve third chances. Mm-hmm. Some people do crimes and didn't even get caught for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So that's
What about the folks that didn't even get caught for the crime? And
that probably would have several felonies on their record had somebody known about it.
Straight up. I actually managed before, and I've hired two people I think that had felonies, and one of them turned out okay, and the other one turned out not okay. But they were drug involvement. Mm-hmm. They had dealings with drugs and stuff, and actually both of them, the stories were similar because they had a boyfriends that were quite abusive, and their boyfriend got them on it, and they were so caught up in love with him, and he would drive around with all this stuff in the car.
Oh, okay.
And he'd go down and they go down as well. Not to mention they were both using it, killing themselves. So,
right.
But one of them, she turned out pretty good. She's back with her kids, and she's back with her family, and she's doing real good. I talk to her every now and again, and she always say, "Thank you for giving me the opportunity." So you're welcome. I ain't gonna say your name, but I'm glad.
And that's really great because it gives a person time. It gives a person an opportunity to rehabilitate themselves, and that's what jail time is supposed to do to you, to give you a different look on life and to rethink where you went wrong.
Right.
And then when you get back out and you're putting, and there's probably people that will lie on the application and say, no, I don't have any felonies, because they figure if they mark it, then you're not going to call them in. So it's like that thing, D if you do, D if you don't. I don't want to say any swearing on the air. So it's kind of a very awkward, tough situation. Looks like we have a call. So we're going to take our first caller.
Steven. Let's get
and we
Steven.
got DJ.